Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Babbling Brook with Evelyn and Evelyn. I am your host, Evelyn.
And I'm your host, Evelyn. And today we're doing something that's kind of an experiment.
Yes.
Kind of different, fun, hopefully.
Maybe.
We'll
see.
Before we get into that, this podcast is very much a conversation that we are having between two friends that we like to talk a lot and we go on tangents. It's very slumber party-esque, when you stay up late at night with your best friends and just talk about pretty much nothing for hours on end. That's what this podcast is. So we usually have an idea for what we want the episode to be about. Yeah, we go back and forth and then we talk about that a little bit.
And then a lot about other bullshit.
Yeah.
So if you're not into that and you're the person who likes to sleep at the sleepover, maybe don't be here.
Go take a nap.
Go take a nap. Maybe don't have us playing in your ears because then you're going to have weird memories that aren't real.
Yeah, weird dreams.
Which is cool, but not cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, Inception-esque. Ooh, does that tie into our plot, Evelyn?
Speaking of movies.
Plot? Oh.
Or plots, or whatever.
Speaking of bullshit.
So, me, myself, Evelyn, and Evelyn.
Hi.
We are both very interested in filmography, short films.
Filmography?
Yeah.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
That's
cinematography, filmography.
That sounds right, but filmography sounds weird.
It's a word.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's such a weird. Look that shit up.
Hold on.
I don't think that's a real word. Cinematography is a study of cinema, but I don't think filmography is a real word.
It is a real word.
No.
I've used it before.
Okay, well, I'm now in a film genre.
It came up in my spellings.
Did it?
It did.
Are you sure you have typed? It's not like you've typed it and it doesn't actually exist?
When would I have Googled filmography?
What a weird
Okay, filmography is a list of films by one director or actor. So,
film
related, it is in fact a word. It's just not the word I was thinking. It's not the definition of what I was thinking.
No, I'm like, wait, that's not... It is a made-up word that sounds real.
It is a real word. It has a definition and everything from the Webster Dictionary.
Oh, God, Webster's wrong. Evelyn's against the Webster Dictionary.
Because I was thinking, it's like Dane DeHaan's filmography. It's the films that he was in. That's what that is.
Is it?
That's literally the definition I just read to you.
So weird. I don't like it at all.
Okay, fine. We're both into film.
Yes.
And cinematography.
Sorry. Tangent. First one. No, yes, we're both very, very into film. I'm into everything film. I love each and every little piece of it.
Samesies. You're scratching at the table.
No!
Cozies.
No, when it comes to film, I am a particular interest in the audience and their reactions. I have a really big interest in the actors and in the music. Those are my pieces of pie, and I love the overarching themes of films.
I'm very into a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
The prop making, set building, costumes, that kind of stuff. All of the pieces that visually make a film, that is my pride and joy. I love that kind of stuff. And I love movies,
Oh my God.
I love watching movies.
Oh.
I love storytelling.
Yes.
Visual storytelling is so much fun.
Oh, it totally is.
So, that being said, we were like, hey, we should work together on this.
Yeah, we should try and work together.
And so, I was like, great, that sounds awesome. I've always wanted to make films, especially with somebody.
I agree.
However, Evelyn sent me some of her old scripts that she's worked on and stuff, and my worry is that
they're trash.
No.
They are. Don't lie. They are garbage.
The one that I read that you wrote 2 years ago is kind of garbage.
It's really bad.
I read it and it was an interesting concept.
Conceptually good.
There's something to it,
Yeah. It's just not good.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to write. I had only written a play at that point.
Yeah.
So I know how to write things for live stage media. rather than film media where it's definitely in different steps and different things. Like, I wasn't writing in even camera shots half the time, and I'm like, you should definitely be doing that in your screenplay. But I didn't, because I'm not there.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and I wrote it for my senior class, my video production class, because I had to pass during a pandemic.
Either way, I was like, maybe we should have something that, like, neither of us are attached to. Something that's just, like, totally new concept. Something dumb. Something quote-unquote easy. Just, like, something that isn't, like, one of our babies that, like, we've been harboring, like a story that I've been harboring for, like, the last 5 years that I'm, like, have my heart into, or a script that you, like, wrote and you're like, this
precious.
Needs to come to fruition.
Yes, I did not put my 90-page script in there, my 90-page play, but that's because I don't ever actually want it turned into, like, a film. If it's going into anything, it's going into a book. So no on that one. I was like, nah. So we're gonna try and do a short film together.
But, like, aside from this podcast, we haven't worked together on anything.
No. Well, we did a murder mystery party. That was hard.
It was difficult, and it was very, like, divided. Like, you sort of ran the whole murder mystery thing.
Yep.
I had a little bit of influence on it. I mainly did the decorating.
Yes.
And the band. So it was very divided. We were both kind of doing our own thing. We weren't working together.
Not
on
really.
Something.
Which was not the concept, but it happened.
Next time it'll be better.
Yes,
because we will be doing another murder mystery.
Oh, absolutely, because that was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
And I still remember the shock on our faces.
I still have the 1920s murder mystery that I bought that I never got to do because my house flooded.
Yeah. What?
So...
God, the just situations we've been in have just been so shit every single time we get close. But no, so that'll be exciting. Oh my God, we can even film that. Do like a, what's it called? Like it's kind of like a Survivor escape the night feel.
With like little, like, we can have a little booth where people sit in front of a camera and like. Yeah. Which,
if I do that and I'm actually in the thing, I'd have to mask up because, as I've discussed, y'all are never getting my face. Sorry, guys. So I guess I'll have to either do an extreme, I'll just get makeup done to just look completely different, put in contacts, which I will hopefully have at that point.
You'll get my face because I crave attention, so.
I just don't. Y'all if you don't know me personally and that's why you're listening to this podcast, because I know that a lot of people, that's how they'll find it, but if you somehow find this otherwise, you don't need that. I'd like to
Which
stay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Being anonymous on the internet is probably the safest way to do the internet.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole thing of why we go by Evelyn.
Yeah.
Our pen names. And I mean, I'm hoping to start doing other types of acting online. And
I won't use my real name.
No, I'm absolutely using my pen name for that one. I probably will have an issue, though, if I go into a audition or something, and they just go Evelyn, and I start staring because I forgot that was my name.
Yeah.
I've had that fear. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because, so story-wise, you know what we didn't put in the paper? Genre.
Oh,
Which genre are we doing?
Oh, yeah. So I have a Word document brought up here. You're going to definitely be hearing some tippity-tapping of typing in the background. But I listened to it, and I didn't think it was that bad. I know some people have, like, a real problem with, like, background noises, and it drives them insane.
Oh, no.
But, like... then this isn't the episode for you. Go listen to the last one. Or the one after this. If there's one after this, at the time you're watching this.
There hopefully will. Oh, at the time when they're
watching,
listening. I think I said that last time. I said, we'll see you later. And I went, no, you won't.
Yeah.
Because that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Lord.
But I figured if we do this sort of thing where... I don't know if I actually explained what we're doing.
No, not really.
We're going to we're going to spend the next hour or so, or however much longer we have, because I really don't want another 2 hours worth of editing.
Yeah, so this is kind of your close. It's going to end when we come up with a goddamn thing.
Yeah. We're going to just throw spaghetti at the wall, See what sticks. That's like my favorite thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
I've said it several times today to you.
Yeah, in like the past 2 hours.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can come up with a concept for a short film.
Cool. Which is like, short films are what, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes traditionally. Which is funny because last short film I did, I thought it was going to be 5 minutes and ended up being 3. Holy shit, time goes differently in film world.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I've got a list of things. They're all out of order.
Oh boy.
So, because I kind of just threw them onto this document as we were listing them out loud. Mm-hmm. And so we're gonna
figure it
out.
I mean, what's the easiest thing for amateur film artists to make? And I'm like, nothing's that easy.
No, it's saying easy is like very
slap in the face.
Yeah, because nothing's really easy.
No.
It's just, I am fully going into this. Train. Fully going into this being like, this is gonna be dumb. It's probably gonna turn out bad.
Yep.
But like, it'll let us get acquainted with each other.
Yes.
Working on these kinds of things.
I mean, if we're going for garbage, then I guess we could try and make something garbage. If we're going for decent, I think it really depends. I'm not expecting this to be the most fucking fantastic thing that I've ever created in my life. But I'm at least hoping we don't hate it by the end of it. Because if we end up hating it, I'm gonna cry.
My thing is, I never hate anything that I make.
Oh, good for you.
I always look back on things fondly, even if they're absolute trash. The only times I don't like things is if I don't have fun making them.
Yeah, those are
which is
the worst.
The thing. So if we make this in the entire time we're having the time of our lives, and then we watch the final film and we're like, that was absolute trash. I'm totally cool with that.
Oh boy.
That's totally fine. It's our first film.
That's true.
My first film with other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's true.
The most I've done is very short, goofy sketches and stuff.
Oh boy.
So.
Okay. So what's first on our list?
First on our list is genre.
Okay, good. Okay, let's think of. Well, I guess genre and setting should probably go hand in hand because if we think about what we have available to us in our area,
we live in the woods.
We live in the woods.
We live near mountains.
We live near. Okay, think about drive time and how many people
exactly
we might have.
So,
and equipment wise, how far we'd want to travel.
Right.
Probably not mountains for our first one.
No, but woods. We can do woods. Yeah. You've got woods around your house.
I do, and we have a cleared area that's not super dangerous if we want to do any running. If we want.
Boyfriend has woods around his house.
Yeah, his are really enclosed, so we might get more past tree shots. Mm-hmm. So we've got woods as our setting. We have a beach not too far from us.
That's true. We are very close to the beach.
We have a rocky beach and a pier, and then we have a sandy beach. Still rocks, but a little bit more sandy.
Pacific Northwest beach.
Yeah.
Do we want to do, so what's your favorite genre movie?
Oh, God.
What's your favorite genre, Renee? We all know my favorite genre.
Goth.
Goth?
That was rude. It's horror.
Close.
Yours is horror.
Close.
Yours is horror. I don't know that that's a film genre.
Goth. Well, I mean, maybe a subgenre. Because you've got Nosferatu and stuff. Dracula.
Oh, that's hard for me. I'm definitely a fantasy bitch, but I do love a good adventure and a good sci-fi.
Well, fantasy adventure is a thing.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to try and do fantasy right off the bat.
That's true.
Just because I think of makeup, I think of costumes. I have stuff.
Yeah.
But.
Right. That'd be kind of we'd have to put more into it than I think that we have available to us.
I'm sure if we needed to, we could find more.
Yeah.
But maybe for now, leave fantasy off the table. Or if it's fantasy, it's modern fantasy.
Yeah.
More Harry Potter-esque in the way of the
thing about that,
clothes.
too, is we need to think of,
CG.
Editing skills.
Which is not high.
Not high. I'm willing to learn anything. But That being said,
maybe not off the bat.
Learning things and putting them to use are two totally different things.
Okay, so magic off the table.
Magic off the table.
Like I said, I like a good adventure. I also love a good tragedy.
Do you want to... Should we do horror?
Yeah, we should.
We should do horror.
We should do horror.
So, genre is horror.
Yes.
That's totally fine with me because I'm a slut for horror. So...
Oh, and we do actually have a couple other options for setting. I think I could probably get us...
I have a barn. I'm no barn.
You have a barn. We have a shop, like a... Not like a store, but we have like a garage-esque shop with like tools and shit everywhere. Yeah. That could be cool.
My barn is full of shit.
Oh, I love it.
Just random shit. Scrap metal. Yeah.
And then we do also have both of our homes that we can film in. And so we've got numerous different bedrooms, bathrooms.
Yeah.
We have animals available to us as well. Obviously, using animals can be really, really difficult. My dogs are decently well trained, and we do have cars available to us. I'm just thinking about all of our resources right now.
Yeah. I know my cat will do just about anything for a treat, so...
One of my cats is easier than the other. So depending on what we want from them, ranges in difficulty. It's kind of the same thing with the dogs.
Yeah.
Ranges in difficulty. So, have to think about that. And then, timing-wise, I don't think... If we're wanting sunrise stuff, I think we're going to have more difficulty getting people rather than
if we did dusk.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know how many people we're going to be able to get up before, like, the sunrise.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would have to be dusk. And we can do getting late or like midday.
Yeah, we can do dusk, midday, and then we can probably do at night if we really needed to, because we're not at the point where it's super duper bright for super duper long. It is better.
Yeah.
But we're still not at a time where it's like middle of summer. We're screwed if we want to film late.
Yeah.
So that's good.
We also springtime here is like pretty overcast. We have like it's usually pretty gray. So
if we're wanting more natural look, then we can. Obviously editing can be done to desaturate and everything too.
Yeah, we won't be doing the like Twilight filter.
No.
Where everything is just blue.
Blue. And not that cool, gonna be honest.
It looks awful.
When
you take scenes from Twilight out and you like look at just like screen caps of it, it looks horrible. You're like, why? You're like, did somebody put a filter over this? No, that's how the movie was.
That was me during Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2. I was like, what the fuck? What is this filter you put on for these movies? Stop.
Like somebody took like a blue screen, like muted the opacity and just slid it over top of the film.
Oh my gosh. And then here's my biggest thing is like, if we're wanting like weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
I am nervous about actors. We have a range of actors. Males are going to be always a little bit more difficult to get a hold of. Mm-hmm. But I've got a couple. Our actors are all probably going to range in age from about 14 to, I don't know anyone past 20 that'd be interested. You know some people past 20.
Well, I'm 25.
Yes. So which
I am available to act.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm any good. I have very little acting experience.
I don't know. I've only ever seen you during Dungeons and Dragons, and that's when you're playing a very particular character.
Yeah, and usually I'm goofing about.
Yeah. So I don't know. Then again, I think
I do have a very, like, hag-like form.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very scrawny and long.
Yeah, So,
like, playing some sort of, like, figure...
Ooh.
Moving in the woods.
I like that a lot.
I think is where my strong suits would be.
Ooh, okay. Are we talking, is this kind of a monster?
Like some sort of like haunting or like a folklore thing, or do we want to do like people? Because I think it'd be interesting to try to do some sort of monster.
I think monster would be good.
Monster is good too because
Make up our own lore, our own creature.
We can do that. And hold on, I'm typing. I also spelled monster MONSTOR. Monster. And also the good thing about monster movies is some of the best monster movies, you don't see the monster until like very briefly near the end.
Yes, which I think would be such a good idea.
Which atmosphere horror is some of my favorite horror. It's the horror that like freaks me out the most.
Yes. Ooh, I love the idea of kids or teens playing around with something.
Ooh, yeah.
And then not realizing how bad they fucked up.
Yeah, well, that's really
Which
funny.
Which is such a classic.
Because in our Fears episode, we were talking about teenagers playing with a Ouija board.
Yes, exactly. I had this experience. Yeah. And honestly, if we want that cast of people, I can get them, and they are pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Because then we got 2 girls, 3 boys. I guess 3 girls, because I was technically in that.
Yeah.
And one of them, oh my god, I actually love this idea now, because the whole thing is that they were playing the Ouija board. And they
one person was like, no.
One person, 2 people, myself and another individual. I said, no, I don't mess with that stuff, but I'll pray for you, because I have a protective chant that I uttered under my breath the entire time they were doing it.
Yeah.
And then the other guy had his phone open and he was on Google, and he didn't believe it at first, but as they started doing it, they started having hands on their shoulders. Mm-hmm. They started moving it, and they started asking questions, and they were getting answers. And they started finding like really, really old, not even Native American, but like ancient, almost like Inca stuff.
Yeah.
And they started getting answers. And then I felt the pressure on my back, and I said, end it now. Mm-hmm. And the guy was like Googling. He's like, this isn't like 1300 like something's wrong.
Yeah.
I actually love that concept. Because think of it in the living room that I have. I have a really big loft and balcony.
Yeah.
And like getting shots over that down, making use of, if we have propane, the fireplace. Mm-hmm. Ooh. That sounds really cool.
Okay. So my brain's doing. See, this is what I was hoping would happen. It's like we start this off and we're like, I don't know about this. And then
we
like,
get into it
and we're like, okay. So it would be really fun to make up our own folklore.
Yes, I agree.
Because I think messing around with real folklore...
Don't do it.
Kind of fucks me up a little bit.
Yeah.
So if we made up our own sort of ghost story or something...
Yes, I like that.
If it was like something that haunted the beach or something that haunted the woods or something.
Probably the woods.
If you did... like Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Like some sort of ritual. Give them some sort of local thing where it's like, oh, legend says if you do this and like at this time in the woods, then like this will happen.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
I've got a fire pit too that we can use that's right on the edge of the woods, and we can ideas, baby. It's like oh god, there's do you know the creator Joey Graceffa? He not the best like creator or anything, but he can do some pretty good acting sometimes, and he's got a really good creative brain. I think he did a storyteller series where they were all telling stories around a campfire, and each episode had to do with different characters, but they were all in them. And then by the end it was just like, ooh, was any of this real? That's kind of what the vibe I'm getting from this. So maybe it's one of them wanting to fuck with it. Yeah.
So your whole story with the Ouija board is that you stepped away. You were like, I'm not going to do this.
I said no.
So what if there is a party? So a high school party, not like party, like a high school party that I used to go to where it's like 5 people get around and like we have a quote unquote party. And there's one kid who is like not really into it. Kind of just went like sort of the outcast of the friend group. Like it got invited, but like it was almost like a pity invite, you know. And so they're there, they're not really vibing with it.
Yeah.
And so they step out, maybe go to the fire pit. Yeah. Go sit outside in the fire pit. Meanwhile, all the other kids inside are like, let's do this like thing. Yeah. Let's summon this like thing.
Let's do this ritual.
And so as they're doing it, we're cutting back and forth, and outside, this kid starts hearing things in the woods.
Oh my god, I love it.
And so they're all fucking around and they're like, oh, nothing's happening.
And it's happening outside where they can't see it. Oh, I love that. I love it. Ooh. It's like they start, as they're saying the ritual, they're going around and saying like separate lines, and then it cuts to like in the middle of them saying it cuts to overlapping.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't even know like who I want to do this. I know I have the original cast from the fucking people who did actually do this, but then they'd have to be revealed as the people who screwed around with the forward.
As well, maybe they should.
Maybe they should, because they were stupid. No, you're not. I love you all. Yeah. I love if you find this. I love you. It's okay. I just did laugh really, really hard when y'all were like, "Oh wait, something's happening," and I just go, "Yeah." Ooh, I love it.
Because then we could even do like what's it called? Where when there's a word for it, where a red herring.
Oh yeah.
Where like they're looking out in the woods and they're like trying to figure out what's happening. And they're starting to get freaked out, and then like the dog runs up to them or something, and they're like, "Oh shit! It was just the dog."
It was just the dog, but where's their friend? Yeah. Are we thinking?
No. The person outside is like,
oh,
like,
I get
and they're like, oh, the dog must have snuck out, right? Yeah. When I came out here, and then like, you know.
Oh yeah, it lets their guard down.
Yeah, and so they're like chilling with the dog, and then the dog like perks up and runs away, and then they start hearing stuff again. And again. Yeah.
Ooh! I do love that. Are we gonna end on the cliffhanger of this person just goes missing?
I think so. I think that's what I want it to be. I think I want there to be... I don't want to see the monster.
I don't want to see the monster either.
I think I want it to be like something is happening, and then like the last shot we see of them is them just like scared shitless, and then maybe there's like a tipped over like can of soda or something sitting by the fireplace.
Ooh, it like we get like a last shot of it falling into the fire and it sizzles,
or like where it just kind of gets knocked over. It's like something is like rustling away, and then everybody inside is like, they finish the ritual and they're like, oh, that was fucking stupid, you know, like what the fuck, like nothing happened, and then they're like, hey, where's this guy?
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, I think they went outside. And so they go looking for him, and nobody's there. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, what happened?
No, what happened to Jimmy?
That would be, like, the end thing, is, like, them, like, finding the can of soda or something and being, like looking up into the woods and being like, what the fuck?
End it with just that. We just end it with the line, what the and then we cut right before the like, because we're that... Or just like, oh, for boop, and then just cut in our what are they called? Credits. Oh my god, I love that. Ooh.
Because I think what we could do is, if we filmed at night or when it's darker, is we could film with lower lighting outside where you can kind of see the trees, and then we could just have some sort of like barely noticeable figure. Yeah. Sort of like looming in the trees, or like peeking out from behind, like some of the scariest videos on the internet. I love watching paranormal videos on the internet. Come on. Where like it's like somebody's security camera, and like it's pointed outside, and they're like hearing something outside, and then like all you see is just like an arm around a tree just move away, or like, and then like nothing else is there.
You're like,
and like, or like it's like a tree that's so thin where you're like, it'd be like a cartoon hiding behind it, and there's just like a head that kind of like goes out and then like comes back in. Like, those are some of the freakiest things to me, and so I think that would be super fun.
And then you can also play around with I don't think it's opacity, but you can play around with it in the end result if it's like, oh, that's too obvious, or no, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, just play around with it at the end. I think that's really, really great.
I think that would be fucking awesome.
I think this is a super cool idea. I love this.
Okay, well, that's...
We know what we're doing.
So...
We're doing the classic. We're
doing a very classic
It's
movie.
Cliche, but who doesn't love a cliche every now and then? Literally, I'm doing a class on film genre and how it's a balance between cliche and innovation. So, you know?
But again, we're going for something...
different,
quote unquote, Simple.
And also just new, because we've never done this before. So fuck off, anyone who's going to be mean about this. It's literally our first thing that we're doing.
We could make it a Halloween party.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm like Halloween.
You're like, I want to dress up in my David costume again.
No, I just want to decorate for Halloween.
Again?
There's not enough Halloween content out there.
Okay, we'll do more Halloween content. I would love it too if then it's like a Halloween ritual. Mm-hmm. They're like, I just thought the Pumpkin King, and I'm like, no, we're not doing a pumpkin.
The Pumpkin King. The pumpkin just peeks up from behind a tree.
Hello.
Pumpkin.
Oh my god, the dog like comes up with a pumpkin in its mouth, little baby one, and just drops it.
It has like the word die carved into it.
It's like, what do you got there, boy? I didn't know you could do that.
It's bleeding out of the tooth holes that the dog made. Do we want to try to come up with a monster and a ritual then?
Yes, let's come up with who is our monster? What is our monster? So, like, do you know the story of some of our local legends?
Not a lot. I know of like hauntings and stuff.
Okay.
But
because I was gonna be like, maybe there's something kind of similar that we can like come off of. I only know the story of the two girls on the bus, the twins on the bus.
The 2 girls on the bus?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, I don't know if this is actually a local legend or if this is something that 2 high schoolers started and now I'm spreading, which just goes to show.
Yeah.
So essentially, there's a story that in our area, there were 2 twin girls on a bus that has to cross the train tracks. And these 2 twin girls always fought and fought and fought, but they always sat together because that's what like their parents made them do or something. Mm-hmm. So one day they're at the back of the bus and everyone else is sitting as far forward as possible, like crammed in 3 into a seat. They are the only ones at the end of the bus because the other kids didn't want to be around them. And the bus driver pulls up to the railroad tracks, opens his door, listens for the train. These girls are being so loud in the back. He doesn't hear anything, closes it, tries to drive forward, but they end up getting stuck. There's like a car in a parked spot in front of them, so they're not able to go. The train comes, hits the bus. Everyone in the bus survives except for the 2 little girls. And so there's a legend that if you're too loud on the bus, that these little girls will appear and they'll silence you.
That sounds like something a bus driver would
It sounds, but it wasn't told to me by the bus driver. It was told to me by high schoolers. So I was like, why would you tell me?
Going on for like
probably.
Yeah.
But it was like a cool
we had, when I went to, for a very brief period of time, I switched school districts in middle school.
Wait, I got a cough.
Oh my god. Evelyn's dying.
I drank water and it hurt really bad. Okay, go.
And one of the friends that I made there while I was only there for like a few months and then I moved back to the original school district told me that she had seen a lady in the mirror in the bathroom. Now, this school is very old.
Oh, boy.
It's the middle school that we went to see the musical.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that.
It's old.
Yeah, it's scary.
And I will say the one time, I don't like using public restrooms. This is like a thing of mine.
That's fine.
I haven't ever. So, like, even in school, I would not go to the bathroom during the day.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And I can have long road trips, though, and I don't have to stop very often. And the one time I went to the bathroom, I think it was just to wash my hands, like, for something. And I was creeped the fuck out. It was, like, very weird, very old. Like, it was, the sinks were weird, the mirrors were weird, like, everything was just weird. And this was before she had told me that.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I already had, like, weird vibes. And then she was like, yeah, there was, like, this lady, and, like, I saw her in the mirror, and then I turned around, she wasn't there. I was like, okay.
That's so demon. Ew. I mean, what kind of creature? Are we going for almost like a Slender Man-esque kind of feel?
Like a shape, a figure, a dark figure.
Like the beast from Into the Garden,
Into the Garden Wall.
Into the Garden Wall. Over the garden.
The beast from Over the Hedge.
Yeah, no. The lawnmower. Oh, God, from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, no.
I hate bringing up that film, but it's actually a really funny flick if you watch it.
Well, what's his butt's in it? James McAvoy's in it.
Yeah, he plays Nomeo, I believe.
He does.
I thought it was the other guy, Taron Egerton, who played it, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Made sense to me. I was attracted to Nomeo. No, like, he's a gnome, so...
It's a gnome.
He had a nice face for a gnome. Oh, Lord, I'm confessing being attracted to Nomeo, Jesus.
Hey, man, we all have our things. Okay.
So like
I've looked up,
myths for our area.
I just looked up Washington folklore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we want to say Washington. I think it's pretty broad.
We can keep
We've
it
said
in.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I think we're
I
fine.
don't think saying Washington is going to make a big difference.
No.
There's
a lot of places in
places
Washington.
in
We're in
Washington.
Forks. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we are.
Maybe that's why we talk about Twilight so much.
We fucking hate that it's in our town. God. Stop coming here if you've seen Twilight.
We're not actually
in Forks.
But don't go to
But don't fucking go to Forks just for Twilight.
That's the funniest thing to me is that everybody went to Forks, Washington, and then they got there and they were like, this is it? Because it's just a little fishing town.
Because that's the whole point of it being written in
It's just
Forks,
a tiny
Washington.
Town. That's like the whole point in the book is Bella is constantly like, it's so boring here.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So why did you think that you'd go there and be like entertained for a week on your vacation?
Yeah, it's like, are you stupid? No, they're just false fans. Also, do you want pizza?
I love pizza.
What kind of pizza?
I'll eat whatever. Every episode is there's just going to be a point in the episode where like food time?
We get to a point, man, because we always
time?
film these around the time of dinner.
Yeah.
Like anywhere from 4 to 6.
Afternoon.
Yeah, so we get hungry.
It's food time.
Yeah, I've been like...
Listen, a girl's gotta eat.
Girls gotta eat. Yeah, you get... Any girls out there, you should eat. Like...
Eat some food.
Just
go get a snack.
Go get a snack.
Go get a string cheese. Unless you're lactose intolerant, but then like you
still
probably
sometimes
don't care
eat
either.
them.
You probably don't care anyway.
Dude, I'm lactose intolerant.
Every
and everyone always
lactose
tells me,
intolerant
don't
person
eat
I've
it.
ever met is always just like, oh, dairy, that'll fuck me up, and then they eat an entire tub of ice cream.
Yeah, because we're just used to it. It's basically for us, it's just saying, hey, I'm gonna be in hell later, so don't expect much out of me.
Yeah.
For me, it's the next day. For like mama,
yeah.
Nah, it's like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
She's like, it's horrible. I hate though, because I had a girlfriend who constantly just, oh yeah, she's gonna have diarrhea. I'm like, shut the fuck up and don't tell people.
No.
Like, you don't need to be that graphic with
No.
it. Holy shit. Don't do that to your lactose intolerant friends.
Mean.
It's mean.
That's mean.
It's so mean. It's like, oh, especially if I'll be like, oh, I have a really sensitive stomach. People are like, oh, you shit yourself. I'm like, why are you being rude?
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah,
Like,
that's uncalled for.
What the fuck?
It's
We should
not
have a call out
necessary.
in this short film. We just go, what made you shit your pants? Then just go around. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And just
That's fucked up, man.
It's fucked up, man. What? Dude, I was just joking with you. Well, guess what? It's rude.
Guess what? It's rude.
Just call them out. And just everyone at the party get really awkward because that is absolutely what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna write down 13 because the first thing that came up in this website from onlyinyourstate.com. It's 8 urban legends from Washington State. And the first one is Maltby's 13 Steps to Hell. And it's from Maltby Cemetery. Became a popular place for teens and curious adults to visit years ago. There were 13 steps starting at ground level, descending into the ground, leading to the back entrance of the tomb of a wealthy family.
Ooh, that's cool.
And teens would dare each other to go down the stairs and touch the door of the tomb, and then come back. And then it said, but when the unlucky person turned around after completing the dare, he or she would get a terrifying glimpse into hell. Some people were so traumatized they were left unable to speak.
What the fuck?
The steps had been covered up and no trespassing signs cover the cemetery to discourage people from trying to find them.
Oh my god, that's kind of cool.
That's
we have
insane.
a really cool cemetery actually close by us.
We do.
And I think you know the one that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I love when people are so freaked out by them. I'm just like, they are
I used to go
very
on walks
peaceful.
At cemeteries.
Yeah.
I love walking through cemeteries.
They're nice.
Yeah.
They're interesting.
So,
okay. So 13 has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe even 13 steps.
That's what I wrote down. I wrote 13 steps. Because I read 13 Steps to Hell. And I was like...
so cool.
Like, sick, dude. Okay. Number 2 is the Mariner High School Eyes.
What the fuck?
Mariner High School in Everett has its own urban legend. Many of the lights are left on all night, but around midnight on some nights they shut off. If you are close enough, you might see eyes staring back at you from inside the school. All you can see are a pair of subtle glowing eyes. Some sources claim that if you stare at the eyes long enough, you can make out the figure of a winged man. Like an angel or a demon?
What
kind of wings
what?
are we talking
What kind
about?
of wings?
We talking about feathery wings or leathery wings?
Yeah, feathery or leathery. Like, what?
Number 3 is Mel's Hole.
We had to put in somebody laughing about Mel's Hole because
Yeah.
I just
Mel's
laughed
Hole.
at
Have
it.
you ever been out to Mel's Hole?
Mel's Hole.
Yeah.
Nah, what's Mel's Hole?
No, like, somebody is like, I don't want to do this. Remember what happened when we went to Mel's Hole?
Nah, man, I
Mel's
didn't put my
Hole.
dick in it like... I didn't
Mel's
put my
Hole.
dick in it like you did.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, legend has it that there is a bottomless pit near Manistash Ridge in Ellensburg. It's called Mel's Hole because a man who called him... Oh, I know about this!
Oh.
Mel Waters was the first person to report its existence. There are a lot of strange noises involving the pit. Supposedly a man threw his dead dog in it only to see the dog go trotting by very much alive a few hours later. I have definitely heard about this. I know about this hole.
That's
I know
cool.
about Mel's Hole.
You have experience with Mel's Hole.
The thing is, the guy didn't want any... It was on his property, and I think it was that he just didn't want a bunch of people trotting by it and, like, coming onto his property. And so he never disclosed the actual location of it. But people that know him have seen the hole and have seen things, like, around the hole and coming out of the hole and heard things.
That's
and, like,
so cool. I don't know that we can do a hole.
No, we can't do a hole.
Sorry, guys.
We
no
can
holes.
talk about a hole.
We can talk about it. Yeah, we're absolutely going to mention a hole because that's
I'm gonna
hilarious.
screenshot Mel's Hole. Save that for later.
Jesus Christ, this is going to be a running gag. Mel's Hole.
Mel's Hole.
Jeez.
We're gonna have to bring up Mel's Hole in everything that we do.
It's going to be our
Mel's
tagline
Hole.
is Mel's Hole.
Yeah. Okay, we got Dryden Hall. Eastern Washington University's Dryden Hall opened in 1965, and since then, people have reported seeing a mysterious screaming face on the outer wall of the north wing. At first, groundkeepers assumed it was a trick of the building's exterior lights, but no matter how many times the position of the lights changed, the face still appears.
So maybe, because we're not doing anything that's appearing, but maybe we can still have it mentioned, like, oh, you hear screams in the night.
Or, like, something appears.
Yeah.
Something is supposed to appear.
Ooh, I'd love it if, like, we have whoever this character is, we have them look, they don't see anything, but then behind them they hear a scream.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, I love, you know the ringing that they do in a lot of things? I'd love it too if at one point, so we do screams and then we get like a sharp pain in the ear with the ring.
Can we do bells?
Bells! Do it.
Like
bells,
you hear
bells.
bells?
Like church bells specifically.
No, just like bells.
Oh, just regular bells?
Yeah.
Like jingle bells?
No, not like jingle bells, but like like ritual bells.
Yes, I like bells. Hell's bells. Bells, hells.
So like you do these things and you start to hear bells and like whispering or something, and then a figure appears.
I love the figure appears and they get that and then everything else cuts out and we get the sharp ringing, that just sharp high pitched whine.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I love, and then we get to make them suffer. We have to make the actor. That's one of my favorite things to get actors to do is to have that moment of cover your ears, something's wrong. And we're going to need to pick a really good actor for that. I actually had actors scream a line during auditions one time because we had a really big auditorium and I still had someone come in and go, is everything okay in here? And I'm like, it's good. I was so surprised though because when you have someone scream something, like scream a line, you can tell if they're a good actor or not. So.
Okay, we've got number 5, UFOs at Mount Rainier. Not really what we're going for.
Nope.
But UFOs, spooky. On June 24th, 1947, a pilot named Kenneth Arnold saw some shiny objects over the top of the Cascades near Mount Rainier. This UFO story stood out because Kenneth Arnold was such a credible witness and his story was so detailed, and it all happened just 2 weeks before the U.S. Army issued a report of a crash saucer in Roswell.
Roswell.
I'm an idiot. Rockwell. I'm trying to read these and my tongue is getting tied. Roswell. Which, Roswell is a place that I want to visit. And, one of the craziest UFO stories ever. There's a reason why it's so popular and why it's so, everybody is there's something fucked up about that.
We gotta do an episode on Roswell then.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay. We can do an episode on aliens because there's that one. There was the Phoenix Lights, which happened on my birthday.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. And that is also, that's one of the most well-documented UFOs.
Okay, sorry.
That's one of my favorite, things to look at because there's actual news footage of the lights.
Oh, that's so cool.
My other favorite story about UFOs is, there's local UFOs that people see every once in a while that are, reddish-orange darting lights that looks like they're just, moving way too fast to be, anything man-made. Oh, okay. And then they'll just shoot up into the sky. And the reason why that's one of my favorites is because then I took a road trip and I went over to the Montana Vortex and I was chatting with the guy who runs the Vortex, who is he's one of my favorite people I've ever met, ever.
Oh, cool.
And he was telling me about UFOs that he sees around, because he's next to that, the Montana Vortex and the House of Mystery is right at the base of the Columbia Falls Mountain. Mm-hmm. And he was describing them exactly like the UFOs that are local to here.
Oh, that's really cool.
I remember my stomach turning because we were talking about orbs, and stuff. Because I'm into all that stuff, and the vortexes and how things work and our different theories on things.
Cool, awesome.
I will talk about vortices in a different episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite UFO stories.
Ooh, okay.
Number 6 is the Faceless Roamer.
Ooh, this is good.
The city of Auburn was originally called Slaughter.
Nope.
I didn't know that,
Holy
and I'm going to
shit.
have to look that up. A wealthy man who made his home there once sold some property to help contribute to the city's growth. Rumor has it that his ghost, which is faceless for some reason, can be seen angrily walking up and down A Street downtown and passing through walls.
I'm trying to think about how we would include something from that.
I don't think we would.
I just thought of angry footsteps, maybe we hear crunching.
Remind me to look up to see if Auburn was originally called Slaughter because I need to double check that.
I just love faceless for no reason. Whoever wrote this did not get creative.
Number 7 is Sasquatch. We all know the story.
We know Sasquatch.
We've got the Indian Princess of Pike Place Market.
What?
The fact that they named it the Indian Princess sits bad with me.
Yeah.
But every now and then, people will see an old Native American woman at Pike Place Market who sits with woven baskets on a blanket for sale. But when they get closer, the woman is gone.
That's just kind of interesting, but not really.
It seems kind of white people-ish story because it says that woman is the ghost of Princess Angeline. The daughter of Chief Seattle himself.
That feels embellished.
Yeah, and that she once lived in a cabin between Pike and Pine Streets and apparently stayed close to home.
I mean, I like the idea, but it's not really. It's not the spooky vibe that we're going for. It's a cool I think about it in my mind of the idea of walking up to someone and then they're not there.
And they're just gone. Having a conversation with somebody and then they're just gone.
And then they're just gone. Ooh, I love that. The person running the ritual isn't there anymore. We're not doing that. That's so cheesy. Oh.
Slaughter.
Yeah.
Was incorporated on June 13th, 1891, but its name was changed 2 years later to Auburn on February 21st, 1893 by an action of the state legislature. Newer residents had disliked the name and its connection to the word slaughter, especially after the town's hotel was named the Slaughterhouse. That's amazing!
Woo, that's so funny.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all, you want to go stay at the Slaughterhouse?
Let's go stay at the Slaughterhouse.
Dude, that's really funny. They're probably which one?
Funny. I was there's no way. There's no way that was originally named Slaughter. I feel like I would know that, but apparently I didn't. Well then.
Okay.
Okay. I have a couple of
ideas
of legends of folklore, if you will, that I have heard about now that I've read through those and I've been jogged. My memory has been jogged.
Oh, I thought you said drogged, and I'm like, where did the D-R-O-G-G come from? Okay.
So that cemetery we were talking about, the big one with all the old headstones, there's an angel in that cemetery that is pretty old.
Mm-hmm.
And this comes directly from my mother, who was very into spooky things and also got into a lot of trouble as a kid because she liked to sneak out and go do things.
Okay.
And she has told me that there's a legend surrounding that angel.
Mm-hmm.
At night, if you go into the cemetery, sometimes the angel eyes will be glowing.
Ooh.
Which this statue, if you've never gotten a good look at it...
Oh god, that scared me shitless. There was a noise.
So a lot of times when people carve eyes, especially... What is happening?
I don't know. Someone is opening and slamming a door.
When people carve eyes into stone or carve eyes in general, a lot of times in cemeteries especially, their eyes will be like closed or hooded, like they're looking down.
Yeah.
This angel, that is not the case. Her eyes are wide open. And the irises, rather than them being like a flat surface or carved outwards, to give the appearance of irises, it was done in the way of like old marble statues, where they carved into the stone.
Oh boy. So
they're holes in, like, inside of the scaleras.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the eyes are like... There's no way in my head that these eyes could glow.
Yeah, because it's marble. And there's nothing in that area.
And it's old. It wouldn't be electrified. Like, it was, like, there's... It's not like somebody would go and, like, paint something on the eyes. And even if they did, the centers wouldn't be able to glow because they're concave.
Yeah.
So, the fact that my mom was like, yeah, you know that cemetery is really creepy. And I was like, oh yeah, because it's old. She was like, no.
Because the eyes on an angel glow.
And like, yeah, which the last time I went to that cemetery, all of the trees around that angel statue had broken in a storm and they were currently cleaning up the mess. So, like, all of the trees, a lot of it had fallen down.
Oh.
Yeah. It's also a family grave, so it's a plot, and the angel is the center of it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to do glowing eyes? Do you want almost like an angel feel
I don't think
to
I
it?
want to do glowing eyes. I think I want to...
I feel like, because that's like
I
seeing.
think glowing eyes is one of those things where, like, you look into the woods and you see glowing eyes and you're like, fuck that. It doesn't matter if it's an animal
No,
or
it doesn't. You're getting out of there.
But if you look into the woods and, like, you think you see a shadow, you're not going to immediately be like, oh, something's coming to get me. You're going to be like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
You're going to be like, was that there?
Was that? Okay, so maybe not glowing eyes. I don't know why in my head.
Wanted to
that's a
say
cool
some folklore.
That's a super cool story. This is probably for something else, but I had the idea
I know
of like
some
an
haunted
angel
roads and stuff too.
Haunted roads.
Haunted
okay.
roads. One is there was a girl who supposedly died in a car crash on the road, and like she will try to hitchhike.
Oh, that's spooky.
I've seen that. I've seen the hitchhiking motorcyclist.
Mm-hmm.
One, I don't know which road it was on, but my aunt and uncle were driving down the road late at night. My uncle, by the way, does not believe in ghosts. Mm-hmm. And then he told me the story, and I was like, how the fuck do you not believe in ghosts? And he said he was driving down this road.
Okay.
My aunt was in the car with them. They both witnessed this.
Oh,
the
Lord.
same way.
No, two people.
All
there
of
it
a
is.
sudden, a woman in a white dress ran out in front of their car, and they hit her.
Oh,
he said, we felt it. We hit someone.
Oh, no.
And when they freaked out and were like, what the fuck? They got out of the car. Nobody was there.
Oh, no.
And so they got back into the car and they left. Because nobody was there.
Yeah.
There was no woman. They checked. They were like, they looked on the sides of the road. They were like, where did she go?
Yeah.
We just hit her with a car. She should be probably dead in the road.
Yeah.
No.
No. Was there a dent in the car?
Nope. Nothing. They did not hit anything that night.
Oh my god. Spooky, spooky, spooky.
Then he was like, well, we were tired, and I was like, oh, you hallucinated the same thing at the same time? Your car hallucinated a woman and crashed?
Yeah, that's... nah.
So...
maybe we have, like, a piece of it. Is that, like, they had to bring, like, a piece of asphalt to the ritual?
I don't know. I just wanted to say it, honestly.
That's a cool...
I'm talking about folklore, and I'm like, here are my ghost stories.
You're like, this is our folklore episode, and I'm like, we're trying to make a film. This is not the episode, but don't worry about it.
We have, like, a good setup, though. Like,
we have a good setup.
We've got our plot. We've got our, like, protagonists and antagonists.
Yeah, but we haven't named anyone, and I think we should name... And I don't know
if we need to name anybody.
Do we not want to have... I feel like... So what I've noticed is if you don't give actors a name, they can have a harder time to get into it. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to at least have the base things of what these characters are going to be like. Like our antagonist, that's not what I meant. Our protagonist is obviously our outcast kind of feeling person, even in a group of outcasts.
Yeah.
Are we feeling male, female, or non-binary, or just not?
I don't think it matters.
I don't really think it does either. I think it depends on what.
At this point with this sort of, I don't, like, we can come up with names and whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think names matter, and I don't think gender matters.
I don't really think it does either. I think it really matters on getting our actors to sell it.
I think it's just a matter of, like, plopping in our party people and plopping in our
I think
guests.
So too. And just making sure that they can sell it, and the writing, obviously, the dialogue. I kind of want to figure out what this ritual is, though. And then what our monster is. I think that's what...
I don't want the monster to have a name.
Well, we don't have to give him a name.
I want the monster just to be a shape.
Call him Shapeless or something.
Well, if I call it the Shape, then that's Michael Myers. Oh. Michael Myers didn't have a name.
Is there anything called Amalgamation or something?
I don't know. Okay.
Amalgamation is just a collection of...
Okay, hold on. 13 steps.
Yeah, 13 steps. It does wiggle a little bit, the table that we're filming
I'll cut out a lot of the, like, pausing to write things.
Yes, well, because we just go dead silent.
Okay. First thought, 13 steps to summon the...
That's not where demon. Summon
the demon?
I thought it was Semen Demon.
Semen Demon?
I don't know what that's from!
13 steps to summon the Semen Demon. First, you gotta throw some lavender down Mel's hole.
So then a lavender plant walks up out of the hole and follows you home. Like, what? No, we're not summoning the Semen Demon. I don't even know. That's not an original content thing. I swear to God, I just can't remember where I first heard Semen Demon. Oh my God.
Okay.
That's why I was like, I don't know, because I think of like amalgamation, because that's a collection of multiple things. I have a book of plants. I can look in my book of plants.
We're talking about angels. What if we do the angels of the woods, and then somebody's like, why is it called an angel?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. I like that. It's 13 steps to summon the angel. Angel or angels? Plural or...
Angel.
Angel of the woods.
It is a creature. And I think angel has to be a nickname.
Yes.
It's not like an actual angel.
No.
Maybe some... You know how things get their name. And then you're like, why is it called that?
Oh, it could always be named after, like, some person literally could have called it an angel because it's like, oh, its hair looked like angel hair pasta.
Or they think it's maybe in some sort of folklore way back when it was like somebody's daughter or wife or something that passed away, and then it's just gotten twisted into this folklore, and that's why it was called angel, is because they were like, oh, it's my angel.
Yeah.
And then it's just been twisted and twisted and twisted into this thing.
They think it's a protector, but in reality it's not.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, because then it's like, oh, well, that's why we're doing this. This is like, it's a spooky ritual, but we're summoning something good.
Well, it's like the thing where you're like, it's like Bloody Mary, where it's like, oh, then you see her in the mirror.
Yeah.
And so you don't think there's any consequences other than you're going to see this creepy thing.
Yeah.
And so they do these 13 steps, and they're like, oh, this figure appears.
Ooh, yeah. It's like, that's the last thing they say.
Maybe they're doing it in front of a window or a mirror or something, and, like, they just got it twisted. but they got the ritual correct.
Oh, okay.
So they're like doing this thing where they're like, oh, this is like a fun, dumb party game that like my grandma told me about this, or my aunt told me about this, or whatever. Or like my mom warned me not to do this.
Yeah, my mom said, no, don't you go playing with the angels.
Yeah.
Angel's wings or something.
Angel woods, you know?
Yeah.
Don't mess with it. And then they were like, well, we got it now.
Now we got
they're
it.
Teenagers.
And they're stupid. Okay, so then what would the 13 steps be? Like, so if we're thinking that whoever this is, if the original folklore comes from an angel, I don't think we're going to want blood. Because I really don't. No. I feel like blood is... not that we can't if we want to put it somewhere else in here.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think we need to do blood in the ritual itself. I'd almost feel like if we're thinking of, like, what are, like, angel-y things? Like, feathers. Feathers. Water. Like, salt came in my mind.
Salt. Well, salt is a ritualistic thing.
Purification.
Usually use salt to cast a circle or, like, whatever.
Maybe we gotta be careful that we're not actually, like, somehow create a ritual. And if we just don't tell the cast.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like, what's our... pentagrams are technically... symbols of protection.
Well, we'll just step 1, draw a circle on the floor. Or make a circle on the floor.
Make on the floor or on paper?
Well, just write make a circle.
Make a circle.
And we'll decide later.
Yeah.
Step 1, make a circle.
Make a circle.
Step 2, obviously light a candle.
Yeah, light a candle in the center of the circle.
Light a candle.
Maybe the thing they fuck up in is it's not a white candle, it's like a green candle.
Or a red candle.
Red candle? Or even a black candle?
I think so. I'm vibing in my head.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So,
think about the shots.
Legend has it that in the woods behind, we'll have it the kid who lives there, behind my house, a girl was murdered or slaughtered by...
coyotes. We've got a lot of those.
Could do coyotes. I was thinking a person.
Yeah. By your own.
How about we go notorious?
By a notorious
serial killer.
Yes. Who is this notorious serial killer?
This notorious serial killer, I'm not going to make it a real one. Hopefully I don't accidentally come up with a real one because I listen to a lot of true crime.
Do you want a random name?
I'm going to go with Albert. And then I'm not going to go with fish.
How about Albert Astor?
Okay.
Aster. I'm just looking I've got a plant book right now and I'm like, there you go.
Okay. Albert Astor in... Let's see, I think the latest we can go back is 1700s. So how about we go 1803?
Yeah, sure. I like it. And obviously we're not going to show the figures, so we don't have to worry about, like, time period correct clothing.
Yeah. And... her family, and her father, in his grief, hunted him down, and murdered him, only to find out that I'm gonna take out serial killer and just right by a man that Albert Astor
was dead,
was not in fact the one who killed his daughter.
You can just say not in fact the culprit.
Well, teenagers, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Killed her.
Yeah.
He was not in fact the one who killed her, and she had actually been mauled by coyotes.
Yes. And in his grief, he took his own life, and it was said that all who looked upon his hanging body thought he had wings. I don't know, something like that. When his wife found him, she thought that he had, him hanging. Wasn't actually. I don't fucking know.
His wife died of a broken heart, because that's how folklore goes.
Yes, it normally does.
His wife, Marilyn.
Monroe. No.
We'll change that later.
Yeah.
Died of a broken heart, and he buried both of them beneath a tree.
Mm-hmm. I do a very big tree that we can use.
I want to not say what happened to him because a lot of the times they don't, and they just move on.
Okay.
And it is said that if you perform this ritual, that you can summon the ghosts
Of the daughter.
Ghosts of Albert's angels.
Oh, of Albert Astor's angels.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
Or, yeah, sure, whatever.
Of the guy who was murdered.
Yep. Angels, they will appear before you.
And kiss you. Giving you good look.
They will appear before you weeping.
Yeah, there you go. That would make teenagers uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, but teenagers don't really think of consequences or like...
No, they absolutely don't.
Yeah, okay. So, our 13 steps. Step 1, make a circle. Step 2, light a candle. Step 3, hold hands.
And then we have whole, ew, I don't want to touch you, you're gross.
No. How about step 3 is place your offerings.
Ooh, yes.
Place your offerings around, inside the circle.
Yeah, inside the circle. Oh, and this person would get fucked because they didn't do an offer. Ooh, because they didn't know that they were playing.
Because that's one of the rules, is if you don't make an offering, then you get attacked by the angels.
Then they get you. I feel scorned.
Place your offerings inside the circle. Hold hands. Because obviously.
Yeah. Hold hands, close eyes.
I think close your eyes. Yeah, close your eyes.
And then maybe one by one, each recite a line.
Or you say the names.
Oh, of the angels? Okay. Who are the angels?
I don't know.
You can even just Google, use like a fantasy name generator to find angel names. I'm just trying to find names.
Maybe instead of 13 steps, then maybe they have to do something 13 times. So what if they have to say
the angels' names 13 times?
One of the names or something, or say a word.
You could just have to say Astor or Albert.
They could do Albert Astor 13 times, and then each time as they're saying it, we can cut and have their voices saying it, and with each name,
yes,
something is going on.
Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. Well, and it also makes a lot of sense too, because we can also then do a cut where we hear vocally, we focus on each person, and we can still hear everyone else, but we can hear their voice more prevalent. And
this is obviously very like rough, and we will go through and like fix up a lot of this
because but you guys don't need to be here for that.
That's gonna a lot of like boring like tippity tapping.
It's and, literally typing.
Yeah, literally just like typing.
So for now, we have our idea, and I mean, what would we title this piece? Do you think? What would our film title be?
I think the Angel of the Woods is a good title.
Angel of the Woods. Angel in whatever the fuck it's called.
I think just Angel of the Woods.
Angel of the Woods. Ooh, cool.
Which is great because we are about an hour and 15 minutes in recording.
Sweet. Which is pretty good, especially because there's a lot that we're going to have to cut. Yeah. So, sorry for the shorter episode, guys.
If it is shorter. I think I'll just have to cut out, like, pauses for typing and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
But, yeah, I think we're going to call it.
I think we're going to call it today.
It's going to be the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. I don't know if I'm supposed to outro.
I think you're outroing, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Evelyn Productions. It'll be linked below. So will our YouTube channel, where eventually you will see this short film come to fruition. It might look a little bit different than how we said it is.
Yeah, don't be surprised. Yeah. It's not going to be exactly the same. So, like, don't be like, how dare I really wanted that part about the Astor or Mel's Hole. Yeah, and we're like, fuck, we got cut, man. Like, sorry.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Evelyn Fletcher. That's EVELINE. FLETCHER on both platforms.
Woo.
And yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening.
Yeah, also please leave us a review on whatever podcast thing you were listening to. We'll read them, we'll love them.
Leave us a review, leave us a like on YouTube, give us a little comment, tell us what we did wrong and what you hate about the show.
Yeah, God, come on, be nice. Or tell us what you love about it.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, tell us which Evelyn's better. No, I'm joking, don't do that.
Do it. Tell us which we're going to have an Evelyn Olympics, which Evelyn is better.
Yeah, the LYN or LINE.
Yeah.
Line or Lynn.
Yeah.
Christ. All right, guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.